Well, round one of the Pink Buckle Futurity is complete. I'm Amy Wilson. A big congratulations, Ashley Schafer on Fiesta by Design, who's by Slick by Design, $35,000. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is exciting. Okay, so you ran a 16.732. I saw a little clip of you from right after that run, and you were so happy and so proud of that gelding because there's kind of a special story about him. Take us through all of that.
So we call him Mitch, not to be mistaken for anything else. Anyway, Seth and I raised him. Jason Martin and Charlie Cole gave us the opportunity. I rode his mother, and he's just been such a good colt. I've loved him from the first time I swung a leg over him. I could just feel it in him. Honestly, within the first couple of months, my husband started him, Seth started him, and he really liked him too, but he fits me better. Like, it's funny how, like, horses that I love, Seth likes, but he might like some of the others better, and I might not like him as well because we're looking for different things. And he always liked him, but I just really clicked with him right away. He was really exactly what I'm looking for. He's extremely feely and light and a little bit hot, and I like that out of a gelding especially. So I really enjoyed him from the get-go. When I started him on the pattern, within the first couple of months, it was just so easy for him. I didn't know what else to do, so I just started hauling him to exhibition, which is really unusual for me. My process is very slow and steady, but he wanted to be so perfect from the beginning. He was just one of those horses that told me yes every time I asked him to do something. He took to the pattern extremely easy because his style is just so natural for him. So honestly, when I say that he makes me look like a good horse trainer, I'm serious. He ran the barrels like he ran the barrels today, which is about as textbook as it comes from the beginning. That's just how he wanted to do it. So he's just a great horse, and I'm just fortunate to be the one that gets to ride him.
With that being said, let's take a look at your winning run from today. This is round one of the Futurity. Tell us all about it.
So, like I said, to me, this is about as textbook as it gets. When I'm thinking about how I want a horse to go around the barrels, this is what I envision. I feel like his lines were extremely straight. His footwork around the barrels was pretty much perfect. When I came back to the trailer, Jody Miller, she's a great friend of mine, she's like, Ashley, you were really tight. It was making me really nervous, but I never felt that in the run. I never felt nervous that he was going to hit. I just felt like he placed his feet exactly where they were supposed to go. Listened to my cues really well. He reached really well with his front end and drove from behind, and that's what I'm really looking for. But he didn't make any huge moves over or step in and load an inside front leg anywhere. Like, everything was just really straight and upright. He set his leg like he was supposed to and pulled himself around the turns with that front end, and that's exactly what I'm looking for out of a run. And that's unusual. I mean, even winning runs, oftentimes there's some kind of step somewhere that you didn't like, and I just, for maybe one of the first runs ever, I can't really pick it apart anywhere, and I'm just so proud of him.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous, correct, and obviously very fast run. I loved it. You've mentioned a couple of times how easy he is. What do you think makes him so easy?
I don't know. He's an extremely light horse. Like, he feels everything. A couple years ago, I had Born on Derby Day. I ran her in 2022, and she was like that too. Like, anything that you asked for, and from the beginning, the first time I ever rode her, I felt that in her. And I don't think that's something that you can necessarily train into a horse. You can train a horse and break a horse and get them to respond to you the way that you want them to, but that lightness that comes with, a horse like that gives you, is just like, they naturally are feely and light and responsive, and that is something that him and that mare both had from the beginning. And then it makes it so easy for us to do our job because they want to be responsive, and they naturally are so willing and say yes to everything that you ask and feel it and respond to it. And so all you have to do is teach them the right way. You can teach them the wrong way too, and I have. In fact, I don't know how much time we have for this, but real quick, I'll tell you.
Plenty of time.
Right before Fort Smith, he used to get too flat on the backside of the first barrel. He had a spot where he would, like, almost, even in his slow work, almost pull his nose away and come through the turn too flat. And when I would make a run on him, it would cause like a little bit of a hesitation and kind of an elevation right there on the backside. And so I really wanted to fix that. And so I worked on it quite a bit, and I would, like, right at that spot, I would pull his nose in, and I would make him turn back through himself and break that rib loose. Well, it did work. It helped him a lot. But because he's so literal, I took him to make one run before Fort Smith, and when I got to the backside of the turn, when I pulled on him, he stopped, came back through himself, and turned back on the same side of it. And I was like, oh no, I taught him to do that. So I got to Fort Smith. I thought that was just a fluke deal, I got to Fort Smith. I exhibitioned. We get I guess we do get a couple exhibitions there now. And he did it again in his exhibition. And I thought, I've ruined him. I taught him to do that. And so for the next day and a half that I had before I had to run, I just walked and trotted the barrels, and I just turned the first barrel and left. I never made him come back and turn it a second time, nothing. I just, exactly where I wanted his feet to be, I just turned the barrel and left. And he ended up making the finals, and he ended up 6th there, too. So he's just one of those horses that you can show him the wrong thing, too, but he's super willing, and he wants to do whatever you tell him to do. Today, before I ran, I trotted him through once. I put his feet exactly where I wanted him to be. I only went around each barrel once. He felt perfect, so I came up here and ran. He doesn't make me have to overthink it or try to trick him. So.
Well, you mentioned that he makes you look good, but you make yourself look good. I think your style is so amazing, how you sit in the middle and you get your hips up under you to really help drive those horses and help them stay balanced. You're also one of the winningest riders here at the Pink Buckle.
Thank you.
And adding to that, of course, like you did today. But what can you say about how over the years you've developed that style and the accomplishments you've had specifically here?
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Honestly, I'm just really grateful for the opportunities that I've had. I mean, I told somebody the other day, there's so many talented trainers and riders out there that just don't get the opportunity, rather whatever it may be. And I feel incredibly fortunate when I really walk through, my years to get to this point. It's just been, an open door here and a closed door there and another open door over here, and just really kind of a process to get to this point that I have so many people to thank for. I mean, I'm so grateful. And the thing that makes a great horse trainer is great horses. Being able to ride horses like Mitch and Born on Derby Day and KR Last Fling and Dash to Heaven and Freckles to Fame. The list just goes on, and I've been Jets Letters to Abby. I won the Pink Buckle Open here on him in 2019. And horses like that, all different styles and different bloodlines, but they taught me so much, and they honestly taught me how much to value a horse like that too, because there's so few and far between. Those great horses are so few and far between, and you can learn just as much from the not so great ones as the great ones, but those great horses they bring me to tears. I mean, I was in tears after I ran Mitch today, because those kind of runs are hard to come by, and those kind of horses are hard to come by. So, I mean, I guess I just feel really grateful. God has really blessed me with great people and great horses. So.
And I know you really appreciate it for what it does for the program that you and Seth have too.
Yeah. Sorry. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, Seth has been such a huge instrument in my program. I was a barrel horse trainer. He's not a barrel horse trainer, but he's such a great hand. And, when it comes down to it, in fact, Lynn Core and I were talking about this on the way up here, horsemanship is horsemanship. Mm-hmm. When it really comes down to it, it's all the same basics, and then you just take it into your discipline, and you tweak little things to get the outcome that you're desiring, but Seth has been huge in helping me with all of that. In fact, I had him ride King, which is my JL Dash to Heaven, and Mitch, which is my slick. The Friday before I left to come here, I had to go exhibition my colts, and I said, will you please ride those two? And he's like, well, what do you want me to do with them? I said, you know what you need to do with him. I said, feel him. Whatever, he hasn't been on Mitch in quite a while, and I said, just feel him. Whatever you think he needs softened on, feel it. And so I asked him when I got home, I said, how was Mitch? And he said he was good. He said, he needed a little rate. I needed to work on, just getting him to gather up to me a little bit, and he did a little bit of that. But he's like, but he felt great. He's ready to go win,
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm just so grateful for him, and he's so he flies under the radar, and people don't know how helpful he is in my program. So
yeah,
thank you.
That's so sweet. I also want everyone to know, because we all see how committed you are to the horses and that being such a priority in your life, but you're a mom, and you prioritized that this week as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Payson plays his first year at tackle football. He's in 3rd grade now. He's 9 years old, and I actually skipped my derby exhibition because he had football on Saturday, and he scored his first ever touchdown. So it was awesome.
So congratulations to him. That's so cool.
He usually plays defense, so it was like a big deal, and I was so glad to have been there. I'd have been devastated to miss it. So
yeah. Well, I appreciate being able to see the emotion and how much you care and what it all means to you. And I should specify, when I said you made it a priority this week, it's always a priority. Yeah. But for a big event like this, to decide to go to the game and it all be worth it is so cool.
Well, I did call my owner and I said, okay, listen, here's my predicament. She's like, you go to that football game. She's like, cool. If he can't grow up, and he's a derby horse, he's been in that pen a million times. If he can't grow up and run without an exhibition, then, he shouldn't be there. And, I so appreciate my great owners and, and the great horses I get to ride. So
yeah, very well said. Ashley, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so much fun always to watch Ashley Schafer. She continues to win here at the Pink Buckle today, winning round 1 of the Futurity. We'll see round 2 on Thursday. Tomorrow is the sale. You can join us for all of it. But that was Fiesta by Design by Slick by Design, a 16.732, and Ashley Schafer. We have more coming up from the Pink Buckle.
Thank you.